face. Truth don't hide, it just waits for a face, for a face. Big footprints in a pine slick path. Bob Lazar files with a government laugh. Court dates lost in a sea of red tape. We ain't 10-4, we just stay awake. True crime tales in a borrowed voice. We speak for the silence, not by choice. Got boots on the dirt and eyes on the skies, digging up stories they hoped would die. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. With a Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Military broadcast, midnight run, teaching vets how to speak what the war's done. From trigger pulls to microphone stands, from combat zones to healing hands. Public records, missing names, unsealed files, classified games. We chase what's buried, not what trends, and we pray for light at the truth's deep end. Might, truth, and thunder, we don't back down. With a Bible in the glove box and boots on the ground. Aliens, lies, and backroom deals. We break that silence, 'cause the soul feels real. Some chase fame, we chase the facts. Some fold quick, we read the tracks. It ain't paranoia if it's always been there, and we ain't scared to lay it bare. Into the storm. We ain't perfect, but we were made for this form.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Into the Weeds podcast here on Military Broadcast Radio. I'm Amber.
And I'm Alora.
And thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are going to get into the weeds.
Yes, that we are.
And just so everyone knows, I took a little break from reading everything because my eyes were tired. I was exhausted. So Alora picked up a little bit of the slack today.
I did. I skipped around a little bit. So there's still a lot in between where they left off last time and where I started this time. But I just figured might as well just see what was lying a little bit further. And I'm kind of glad I did. I only got to go through it for about 2 hours before I had to take a shower and everything. But it's juicy. I'd say so. But hi, Millennial. Thank you for joining us again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So if we go out again, please just pick up where we left off.
So we're off to a better start than yesterday already.
Yes, we are. So I do want to let everybody know who's brand new to this channel. I am a disabled veteran, and I do this podcast on Military Broadcast Radio for cognitive and recreational therapy. I was in bed for 6.5 years with severe migraines due to an injury in the military, in the Army. And so this is my way of climbing back out of the hole of just laying in bed for so long and learning how to think and talk again. And so if I seem like I'm not understanding something or whatever, that's me. You know, I have cognitive issues. So
some people are also saying that we yap too much, but that's just a part of the fun. So I'm sure in a couple weeks, there's going to be some other channels that will have everything put together in a nice, neat little order for you. But for now, the three of us are just going to have fun yapping away. So you're just going to have to deal with it.
I'm Amber.
Oh,
it says who's Amber.
Oh, Amber, Alora, Millennial.
Yes. Okay. So I guess we'll just get. Actually, I did want to say, please go over to my community posts and look. We have 2 missing women. I wasn't able to pull it up because my internet was acting weird. but we have a woman missing from Brownsville, Texas, named Chanda Lore Sanders. She is a native woman who is a part of the Cheyenne Arapaho tribes. And then we also have a woman named Shannon LaFleur. She is missing out of Los Angeles, California. And she is part of the Choctaw tribe. So I would normally bring their pictures up here, but I'm not able to do that right now. So please just share that information out, and please be on the lookout for them. So
Absolutely.
okay, so let's get into it. Let's get into the weeds.
Yeah, let's get into the weeds. Oh, also, I have a cute little update real quick. I believe it was someone with the username Love One Another that donated something specifically asking for me to get Oates a stuffed animal. It is posted on our community tab if you want to see the actual stuffy that I got him, but he's sitting right here, and I'll show you the shirt that I bought him today. So he's wearing a Jurassic Park shirt. It looks like a button up, but it's Velcro. Whoa! Anyway, it's extra funny because my aunt lost him whenever we were at Universal, so I see it as kind of like a sign. It was meant for him. So anyway, that being said, you guys ready to dive on in?
Yeah,
I bet they are.
Go ahead.
Okay. So let me see. Oop, exit out of that real quick. Okay. So I was taking a couple notes, and I think we're going to start on, do you want to put, 786.
Okay.
Page 786. There's a couple different things that are interesting on there. Sorry, I'm looking for, can I borrow this blankie so that I can put Oates in it? He's trying to get underneath a shirt that is not big enough for him.
So I think it's at 786.
786.
Just so y'all know, 786 starts in a time period of December 2021.
Yep.
Okay,
That's it.
let's see if I can find what specifically I was looking for, because she's talking to, I believe, somebody who had been in prison at some point.
Prison
Here
time.
we go. So, just so everyone knows, all of these pages are completely out of order. You can't tell who's writing what. The only thing you can see is inbound, outbound. So if you're wondering why we say inbound, outbound, it's because it's not super clear. It's also jumping from year to year sometimes. So I don't have the exact direct message that had been sent before this to Gypsy, but on 12/03/2021, she asks, "Did you ever make a rack or whippets? Both are made with coffee." I saw that and I thought it was very interesting. Does anyone in chat know what a rack is? I know what I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on
Gypsy
YouTube.
showed us how to make a rack on her TikTok.
Did she?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think she did a tutorial.
What was the rack again?
Coffee.
Jolly Ranchers, I think. And
Oh, that's what that was. It's just like a dessert or something, right?
Yeah,
Or
something.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just thought the whippets part was really interesting because I'm like, anyway.
I think the kind of whippets, I Googled whippets because I know the nitrous kind I've heard of when I lived in St. Louis. I remember seeing something on the street and I'm like, what the heck is that? And someone's like, somebody had a whippet.
Okay.
And but I did Google, and prison whippets are like a coffee Jolly Rancher powder.
So it's the same thing.
Oh, okay. Apologies on that one.
Tries to make them like really hyped up, like it's just a caffeine intensity.
Yeah.
Okay. You
An
know what?
energy drink.
My bad on that one, Gypsy. I'm gonna give you a pass. On that. I should have done my research, but I only got to look for a little bit. But on the same page, I believe.
Ash Trippy says no, it's drug related. Okay.
It is drug related. Okay, so if anyone in the comment section has any clue, just let me know.
Yeah, I got
I've never done either with
results in Google.
So, but here is where we get into something a little bit juicy. So, oh shoot, I just had it and then I lost it. Okay, so this is, I believe, to the same person who, I think, I could read to you the whole message that he sent her. If you guys really want to hear it, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'll
just
read it.
read
You
it.
want me to? Okay.
Mhm.
I think this is where it starts. Gypsy. As for jail, I got 2 DUIs, one 2 years ago and one when I was 18 in Pennsylvania that was both county. I also got a felony weapons charge in Connecticut, but I ended up appealing it and getting it thrown out. I got a taste of level 4 security state prison in Connecticut. I'm good on that. That shit isn't for me. But like I said, I was never convicted of anything serious. The weapons charge was because I didn't have to carry my permit on me, which was bullshit. Other than that, a few citations. I've been staying out of trouble for years, though. Here are the questions I'd like to ask you about what actually happened with you, because I honestly don't believe anything I don't hear directly from the source. But I'd like to ask you in person someday if I can. Sorry I missed your call last night. I fell asleep early. Also, I got your Christmas gift, and then it cuts off the rest of the message. And directly after that is where it asks about, have you ever made a rack or whippets? Both are made with coffee. So again, if anyone in the comment section knows what she's talking about with that, I don't want to accuse her of something she wasn't doing. I just found it interesting. Okay. So after that, I think there might have been something that is missing between these messages, but the very next one says, and this is outbound from Gypsy. Oh, what did I miss?
Nothing.
Good.
Okay. Okay. So the very next message, but again, I think it's a little out of order. It says, thanks for the recipe. Yeah, I know what it feels like to be in love. Makes you wonder if you'll ever have it again once you've lost it. Now I'm kind of at a place in my life that I'm 30 years old. I want a family, and I'm torn between getting out and having that with blank, because he would, I think that's Ryan, with Ryan, because he would in fact make a wonderful father and husband. And then I'm torn because I haven't dated around, and I haven't dated around there, and I haven't been a hoe. Hell, I'm still kind of a virgin, in parentheses, long story. Or really, it's not that long of one, but super short version. No, she says, no one has beat that shit up, if you know what I mean. LOL. My ex helped commit my crime, but didn't know what the hell he was doing. And my one experience is just sad. That was probably TMI, but it's real. So I don't know how you can be kind of a virgin.
I think we have to go up to his reply to that. If I remember, it's out of order.
Mhm.
Do you have it on your screen? Do you know which one that is?
I'm trying to find it for you real quick.
There is something else, though, that I have marked very far away from this, like a few pages down, where she brings up her sex life again. So it might come into contradiction with what she says about being a virgin here, but we'll let it slide for now.
Yeah, note that, y'all.
Note that. So she says she's kind of a virgin. I don't know how you can kind of be a virgin, especially since she admits that she was a pillow princess in prison. But yeah.
787 at the top of the page of 787 is his reply to that.
Very top of the page, 787.
Go down.
Oh.
Yeah, I set up. It was down. My bad.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that I sent. That's the one that I screenshot. I sent to you. Okay. Gypsy. Well, as for the guy who helped you commit the crime, after reading a little bit more about the story, I kind of already figured he didn't know his way around a vagina. No offense, but definitely not the brightest bulb in the bunch, or you probably wouldn't be where you are right now. I know he said that you told him to do whatever he did, but at the end of the day, only you know the truth. And honestly, the truth doesn't scare me, because it's something you have to live with for the rest of your life, not me. I wanted to ask you about a few parts of your story in person someday, if you ever give me the chance, as it's kind of informal to ask over JPay. Plus, I'd like to see your facial expressions. One thing I can tell you, though, is that yes, you definitely should explore your options. It's definitely possible to go on many dates without being a hoe. I've been on quite a few where I ended up not sleeping with a woman, just not talking to her anymore, because there was no attraction on my end, sometimes physically, but most of the time mentally. I do honestly think you're drop dead gorgeous. And if you ever did give me the chance, not to be a perv or horn dog, but I'd definitely give you an experience to remember. I'm into BDSM. One of my favorite toys is a Hitachi wand. If you don't know what one is, you can ask the other women about it. I don't even know what that is, and I know what a lot of things are. I know what a lot of things are. Anyway, I can tell you that there is nothing like being forced to orgasm over and over again. I will leave that topic alone for now, though. But just know, when you get out, you're free to come see me. I'll gladly arrange for a way for you to come to Pennsylvania, and you can get away from all of the insanity there. No one will know you or anything about you here, and you could have a clean slate. Plus, I know many places where you can get a job immediately paying 20 plus an hour. You have my phone number. Just call and say the word. I'll figure it out. It's not hard. As for your upcoming parole board hearing, I highly suggest that you show some emotion during the hearing. They want to see that you've had plenty of time to think about what occurred, regardless if you feel guilty or not. They want you to see you own it and feel remorseful. Remember, they do have your freedom in your hands, so keep that in mind. I hope they let you out as soon as possible. I don't wish jail or prison on my worst enemy. That shit is the worst. I hope to hear from you. Please let me know what happens at the hearing. I'll be looking forward to your response. I'm heading to bed now. The work is in the AM. Wishing you the best over here. Good night and sweet dreams, beautiful.
So we don't know who Gypsy's talking to in these emails. Sometimes we can get pick up on the context or some of the references.
But when they're people that have never really been relevant in the media,
and Alora and I don't really know all the lore and everything. We just kind of go over the FOIAs and interview people who talk about her. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm in it for history.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them we can definitely figure out who it is, but this seems to be some random guy who just decided to write her for a while and didn't really become any kind of story or in the media. It doesn't appear to be Brian, y'all. Brian, we found the emails with him. This is a different guy.
Okay, so there's another thing that sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Why don't you just read that list of questions there?
Okay.
I think that's interesting.
Well, it's interesting, but I can't find her answer anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only reason why I'm not going to. It's not that.
Well, no, she's asking this guy those questions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she is. My bad. Okay. So directly after it on the page, but again, we don't know if it's, you know, same everything or in the right order. She's trying to play.
Actually, guys,
what's up?
If you look at the date, this is a year later. That last message from him was December 2021. The 20 questions is October 2022.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of done.
But it is still Tattoo Guy, because if you go down a little bit more, you see where he tells her that he tells her in September 13th, 2022 that, you know, he did a new email and decided to start talking to her again and gave her an update on his life, and they started talking again.
So you think that the BDSM guy is also Tattoo Guy?
I think so. I could be wrong, but the context clues of the way he's talking and his description, and the way that they seem to group the same people's messages together, regardless of date, is why I'm guessing that.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing, but then I got kind of thrown off by this little questions thing here. But okay.
But we don't know. It might not be, but
okay.
Guessing it.
So our assumption is that this guy, who we're going to refer to as Tattoo Guy, because she literally calls him Tattoo Guy, that they're the same person as this. But anyway, this is Outbound about a year later on 9/14/2022. Hey there, Tattoo Guy. It's great to hear from you. I wondered why you had not sent any emails anymore, but it's not the first time someone fell off from writing me, so I just accepted it. Yes, I got married in July. Let me explain further. I married my best friend, Ryan. He is 36, lives about 3 hours away from my dad and stepmother, Christy, in Louisiana. Ryan is a big guy, in parentheses, not muscle. I hate that.
That's awful.
But he has a big heart, and that is why I married him, because he is someone who makes me laugh, and I can see him being a wonderful family man. But he has insecurities, and that is causing problems in our new marriage. We always had these issues, but I thought that they would get better once we got married. and they haven't. So today was the first day I contemplated getting an annulment. I vented to a gal pal of mine, and she gave me advice to try and help fix his behavior before resulting in the annulment. Or, I'm sorry, before resulting to the end-all be-all option. I love him, but I can't live with the constant insecurities that he has about our marriage. I am happy most of the time, but other times, God, I wish I was single again. Only time will tell if this marriage will work or not. He is a really good, sweet guy, though. He is one of the good ones. I just wish he had more confidence and could grow in trust. Anyway, enough about me. As for your past relationships, I feel like people put up with a lot because of attractiveness. My brother, for example, is with a beautiful woman, but she is batshit controlling.
Oh, no.
My advice to you is to first be drawn in by personality and kindness, and then look at the physical. And I promise it will tell you all you need to know. I'm sorry you haven't had a good, sweet girl. Most of us kind of girls aren't posted up in strip clubs, though. Hint, hint, just saying. No, just in prison. Anyway, we love strippers. We love sex workers in here, but fuck you, Gypsy. I'm sorry. Okay. I want to send you a recent pic of me. What's your address again? I'll write more tomorrow. Have a good night. And I'm so happy you found me again, Gypsy Rose. She's going to send a picture of herself to a man after talking about how she's still married and she's contemplating whether or not she wants to stay with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ryan, I have mixed feelings on you, Ryan, but at the end of the day, you never deserved this shit. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to need to borrow this again.
Yep.
Sorry.
There's
stuff on screen for now.
an email that we skipped from the 2021 emails that appear to be with this guy. Is another one where she talked about physical attraction. Well, I just lost it.
Oh. So if you find it again, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Sorry.
Yeah,
okay, here it is. Okay, this is outbound from Gypsy, December 1st, 2021. Damn it, my thumb hit delete button on your email really before I got to read it all. Now I can't get it back. That just irritated me. Well, I got to read some of what it says. Blank dumped me 2 years ago, Ken, I believe. I'm currently with my male best friend, Ryan, I believe that says. Although he is amazing to me, there is a lack of physical attraction. I am with him because he is perfect for me emotionally, but I am just not really physically attracted to him. I feel terrible for feeling this way. Last night, I even told him sometimes I wish I was single so I could meet new people. It hurt him and sparked a fight. I just don't know what to do anymore. I love him, but the question is, am I in love with him? And I just don't feel like I am sometimes. When I was with blank, Ken, I believe, I love that man to the end of the earth and then some. It's not the same feeling I have with Ryan. It's a soft comfort love, like we've been married for 10 years feeling. Like if I had to choose sex or cuddle with him, I'd pick cuddle.
Yeah.
That hurts my heart for him.
No, it makes me sad.
Yeah. Because he really believes that she was attracted to him all along.
Yeah.
Saw Marvelous in the comments. We can't show them because every time we do, Amber's internet goes out. That's why we had to stop trying. It would drop them every time.
Yeah.
After we go through them all, they will be made available eventually.
Yes, they will be.
And we understand why it may seem really hard to believe if we're not putting everything out there. We fully accept that. Take everything we're saying with a grain of salt. That being said, we will eventually post it. And if we were lying about all this stuff, that would put us in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And we already went to a Gypsy Rose lawsuit last year. And I hope y'all remember how that turned out. Didn't have anything to do with us doing anything stupid. But regardless, I don't really want the smoke anymore. So yeah, that would not be in our best interest to lie about all this stuff. But again, I understand seeing is believing, right? But anyway, okay. Let's see. What else?
Janice Harper says she really had him believing that he was fired.
Yeah, I feel really bad for him in that respect, but
Yeah.
I think he knew what was up at some point.
Well, you'd think he would know now, but
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If everything that Gypsy ever said was true and everything that he believes about her is true, it was kind of shitty of him to kind of take advantage of her not knowing whether or not she wanted to be in a relationship. I know that he loved her, but sometimes if you love somebody, you have to love them enough to set them free. And sometimes that's what has to happen. And clearly she did not know what she wanted. And there's another part to that saying, if it's yours, it comes back to you. But I don't know if Gypsy was ever yours, Ryan.
Yeah.
And it sometimes, whether it's with somebody like Gypsy or a totally normal, well-adjusted person, you just have to you have to let things play out, and you can't force love.
Yeah.
And I really do think that Gypsy cares for Ryan in the only way that she knows how, but I feel like her sense of being able to love or be loved is totally skewed.
Well, we came across that email that she sent to Rod before we skipped ahead to these, where Rod was talking about, his flirting and cheating again. And Gypsy said, I've realized that I'm more like you when it comes to matters of the heart than I thought. Yeah, he was talking to her about his philandering, and she said, I've realized I'm like you.
Yeah. So it's something for sure. Is there anything else? Is there anything else related to Tattoo Guy that stuck out to you? Because I have some other notes that are in my phone, but I kind of moved on from that.
No, that was the main things to me. They were kind of boring other than that.
Okay. So I'm going to go down to 791. And as I'm saying these numbers, I'm saying these page numbers, one, so that Millennial can follow along if she has anything else to add to it. And then two, whenever you guys do eventually get the document, you guys can check what I was talking about and read it for yourself. So, because there's a lot of stuff to go through, because we could read out, 100 emails right now, and it would be really hard for you guys to track them down, and you wouldn't really be able to prove if they were there or not for a couple weeks. So, that's what I'm trying to do. I can't remember if we stuck to it 100% last episode, but I didn't really think about it. So
don't worry.
But also, I'd like to shout out to Conspiracy, because I saw that she was in our comment section on the last live that we did, and she did little timestamps because we were kind of all over the place. And she did it before I even got off work. So I went to bed as soon as we were done with the live stream, and I got up for work at 4:00 in the morning. And by the time I was home, she had already done it. So I really appreciate her taking on that for us. So, which we didn't ask her to do it or anything. She just did that because she's just a good person, and she wanted to help you guys figure out the mess that we created. Okay. So I said 791. Is this the one?
That's a long email.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if this is the one that I was even looking for. If you guys want to hold down for it while I'm reading this stuff real quick, so there's not dead air. But
okay.
It starts out with her talking about the trust.
Yes, the trust is what I was looking for. No, I don't want to.
And this is August 2020 is the time period that we're looking at the moment.
And
then the second message, she talks about Nick sending her an email.
That's the one I was looking for. Okay. So this is Outbound. This is, August 20th, 2020. And I can't really tell who this is to. I think it's another kind of random person that isn't like super well known in the community or anything. I wanted to add to my last message that I understand if you're not able to explain everything to me in detail. However, I am grateful for this. In the last year, ever since the show aired, I've had thousands of new supporters sign my petition for early release, as well as contact me personally, all with 100% positive feedback. I still believe that more awareness needs to be shared about Munchausen by proxy. I thought that maybe you might be curious to know how I am, besides all the rest I shared with you earlier, and share who is Gypsy Blanchard today. The Gypsy Blanchard everyone knows from the act is almost a distant memory. I no longer have a squeaky voice. Yes, it is still feminine, but it is no longer childlike. I've been taking general education classes and have passed every subject except math. Relatable girl. I have successfully completed 7+ institutional classes and teach one myself. Didn't she say she only took one class?
Somebody put that out there. I
Okay.
have the records to prove that she did take
Okay.
a few classes.
Well, the reason why I was asking is because I thought she told Kim Kardashian and she was only able to take like one class and only like group therapy or something like that. I could be wrong. Anyone in chat that knows. Anyway, I'm going to keep reading this message. A class called ICVC is devoted to teaching other inmates how to take accountability for their crimes and aid them in ways to give back to the community. I share my story as a cautionary tale. I own my part and don't sugarcoat or make excuses for what I've done, but I also know my actions were set in motion before I was ever born with my mother's choices. My father and stepmother are very close in my life. My father still feels guilt to this day, but the past is not the majority of what we talk about. He and I have become close enough for me to share the deep stuff, and though he is a man of few words, he gives the advice I need to hear. My stepmother is the spearhead for my support team. She may have been a little more outspoken in interviews than I'd like, but her heart has always been focused on seeing me free as soon as possible. I've learned in the last 5 years I am much stronger than I ever thought possible, and these days I have no problem speaking up for myself and doing what I feel is best for myself. As for blank, he did reach out to me when I finally arrived in prison. Oh, okay. As for Nick, he did reach out to me when he finally arrived in prison. He wrote me a 7-page letter that contained nothing but more of the abnormal talk with a biblical twist. He asked me to get back together with him, and he told me that he knew about my then fiance and was offended and believed that I was committing adultery because to him, he and I were married, and went on to make a point to give me a month to choose between him and my then relationship. As you can imagine, it was not even a thought in my mind to rekindle things with Nick. I knew the day would come that he would contact me in some way, most likely a letter. I pondered on if I should or shouldn't write back. I sought the advice of friends and family, and we all agreed that I needed closure. I wrote him one and only one letter in response. I explained everything that happened in the 4 years since our arrest and was honest with him and apologized for being responsible for his involvement and wished things hadn't turned out this way. However, I am not the same Gypsy anymore. I can't erase the damage, nor can I ignore the fact that we are toxic together. Besides, I was happy with my new relationship. So, any thoughts on that, Millennial? Any thoughts on that, Mom? Chat?
Just more of her being her.
Interesting that, yeah. What were you saying, Millennial?
I was just gonna say the flip flops are what gets me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because one day,
and since she mentioned the act there, I do remember now there is another email from Tattoo Guy, I think, or maybe it was someone else that we need to go over where she talks about everything in the act being true.
Yes, I remember seeing that somewhere. Let me see if I put it in my notes. There was one thing that was related to the act that I accidentally left out. Okay. So there is a message somewhere, and I will look through and see if I can find it, where she talks about how she doesn't like the act, but the reason why is because they made money off of her. Not because there wasn't some accuracies to it, but because her and her family weren't consulted, because Joey King was not allowed to talk to her. And like was specifically instructed not to. And that also that some of the producers from Hulu or whoever was running the show had reached out to her, and she said she didn't want any involvement. She didn't want them to make it, and they just ignored her and did it anyway. So it seemed like her main issue with that was just that she was not profiting off of it rather than it being inaccurate. I personally think the act is probably really over exaggerating Dee Dee's role in everything. I do find personally, I feel like Dee Dee was a little abusive, but I don't think that she was what the act portrayed. That was really intense. And I know that Gypsy was also really upset that I think it's Patricia Arquette that played Dee Dee ended up winning like an Emmy or at least being nominated for one. And she's like, well, they're winning Emmys when the famous Gypsy Rose Blanchard is just sitting behind bars. So
Gypsy has complained since oh, I'm sorry. I thought you stopped. We had a little lag. Gypsy has complained since she got out, though, about the inaccuracies of the act.
Well, it's funny because up further towards the beginning, she talks about the act, and she talks about how pretty accurate it actually is.
And I have something that I'm about to show where she says that as well.
Yeah, it's another one of her flip flops because
Mhm.
in prison she was saying it's accurate. Now she says it's not.
Yeah, so let me go straight to that. I'm going to be skipping a couple notes real quick.
She had to
was
have watched it at some
791.
point.
Oh, she's definitely seen it now. 796.
Well, she'd clearly seen it in there.
Okay. So everyone, we're moving to page 796. Just telling you, in case someone wants to come back and check later.
Thank you, Fire Nice.
Let me see. Also, thank you to everyone in chat, everyone watching, everyone that's donating, everything. Okay.
She's not trying to be dismissive.
Oh,
She's trying to find it.
No. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm trying to speak, not leave dead air, and then
Yeah,
also
I
read.
know.
Wow, much love. I swear I'm not one of those people. Please donate. Please donate. No. Okay. Okay. Where is this? What were we looking for again? The act. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. So
When was this written?
this was in
August 2020.
yeah, August 19th, 2020. I guess maybe I can read the first message. I think this is the message that's inbound. And I'm going to read it. It's not that juicy, but it kind of adds a little context, but not that much. Anyway, I'm just going to read it. Hi, Gypsy. I'm blank and I'm from the UK. I live in a place called Gosport, which is near Portsmouth, England. I saw your documentary here and became so drawn to your story, and I'm literally just watching the act, which I had sent to me on DVD. It's shocking what you had to deal with, and my heart feels for you. You've grown up into a beautiful princess like you always wanted to be, and you have so much support for you. It's awesome, but I'm sure that you know this already. I can understand your mindset about the whys and wheres and the what ifs, etc. And I truly wish that you didn't have to serve time in prison for you've been in prison pretty much your whole life. And I hope that one day you gain your freedom soon. I myself have had cancer twice and one, and I know about sickness very well. I am now 50 years old with 4 teenage boys of whom I am very proud of. They lost their mom to a heart attack last year, and it's been and will be a continuing battle with their grief. Before this tragedy happened, I was a model for catalogs, but now I'm a full-time dad. It's the hardest job ever, I can tell you. Even though I'm 50, I don't look my age, which is a blessing, LOL. I don't know if you'll receive this email or reply to it, but I hope that you can see it works. And who knows, we can become friends. Okay, keep strong, Gypsy, as you have a lot of support for you. Before I get into the next message, I noticed that a lot of the people that write her are people that have had cancer, a lot of people that served in Iraq and Afghanistan.
I saw a couple of them.
A lot.
Really? A lot?
Yeah.
And just what I've read, and we read totally different sections. A lot of grandparents.
Yep.
A lot
She
of
only replies to men. Older men,
yes.
men who send pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. So did it say, did it tell you how his wife passed away? Because I read somewhere where it showed how his wife passed away, or did it just say that she passed away?
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, I think that it says somewhere that she had like
Yeah, it was in the email you read.
it was in that one.
Yeah,
Okay,
it says
sorry.
the mom died.
Okay. So anyway, Outbound, this is from Gypsy. Thank you. My uncle's wife died just like yours. She was in the kitchen and sat down and it happened. It's very sad. The scenes in the act are true. Even that movie theater scene. Yeah, I know, not so classy having sex in a bathroom stall. Let's just say I've improved on my level of class, LOL. I can't imagine having to be a single parent to 5 children, but I'm sure you're doing just fine. And I'm sure when you're healed from your loss, the right woman will come into your life. You are much too handsome, and then it cuts off. So somewhere I feel like I saw that he had sent her a picture. But like I said, these are so out of order. It's hard to make sense of it, but maybe someone in a couple weeks can make a little more sense of it.
Thank you.
But what was really important there to me, and I think to Millennial and probably to you as well, and everybody else in chat, is that earlier she said that she's still kind of a virgin. And then here, when she's having a conversation with someone where it seemed like they're kind of having a heart-to-heart, and unless there's a missing message, which there probably is, I didn't see anything sexually charged other than him just calling her beautiful and stuff like that. But she just goes out of her way to say, yeah, I know it's not so classy having sex in a bathroom stall, but I've improved on my level of class. She went out of her way to say that that was true. Not that she was R-worded in the stall. Not that they tried to do it in the stall, but that they had sex in a stall, and she said it like it's a funny story.
Right. Yep. And she goes back and forth so much on whether or not she was R-worded, whether or not she actually came out of jail a virgin. Like, it's ridiculous. She said in the interrogation that Nick R-worded her. And she said on the stand under oath that he didn't. And then she said in her book that he did. And she has said in these emails to one guy that she is basically still a virgin. And then to another guy, yeah, all the scenes in the act were true. Even that sex in the bathroom stall. Ha ha ha. I've gotten classier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And When He Can't Create says with a diaper on. That's something that she started saying since she got out of jail. I don't know if it's something she ever said in any of her emails or phone calls, but I haven't seen it yet. But it seems like she was trying to entice somebody there. So obviously she wouldn't bring up the diaper. So that's probably what her excuse would be. But I don't know. Oh yeah. Anarchy Pay says, completely admitting the fact that she did the deed several times after her mom in the hotel room with brownies and at Nick's house.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Remember Nick's dad or stepdad saying he
Oh,
had
yeah.
and they said that they were like rabbits and they were very loud.
With his
and over
brother
again.
in the house.
Yeah, that he had to go talk to him and remind them that there's a little kid in the house.
Yeah. So
He even said that Gypsy was making noises really loud, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to like sit here and pick apart somebody's sex life, but somebody's sitting in prison and somebody's dead because of your sex life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately.
So she only says that her mother wouldn't let her use feminine hygiene products.
Yeah, that's what she says. And she says a lot of things. So who really knows what the truth is?
Yeah.
And we see her saying things in these emails that are so polar opposite of the things she said since she's got out. It's like, it's weird. I don't even have another word for it.
All older guys say they don't look their age, sadly. My dad, whenever I read that, my dad's always like, I look so much younger than all of the other people my age. Oh, you have this friend that's closer to my age. They look old.
Well.
No, okay. Anyway. But he just always says all kinds of things like that. Anyway, we're keeping to ourselves. But regardless, so yeah, you're right. A lot of people do say stuff like that.
My husband does look younger. Yeah, Jared Leto looks way younger than what he
Jared
is.
Leto does look younger, but
he probably sold his soul to the
he
devil.
has so many allegations and had for years and years and years.
People think my husband's way younger too.
Okay.
Although I did love him in My So-Called Life. That was an amazing show.
Okay, let's see. Oh, here's a good one. So actually, I'm going to go back to 791, which was the one that had the thing where she said that Nick and her were talking. And I'm just going to read something about the trust. I just have to find it real quickly.
There's a lot about the trust in there.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and I'm pretty sure Fancy's the one who set up the trust or helped set up the trust.
I'm going to just read what it says.
Okay.
That's
well,
all.
I'm from earlier. That's what I heard or read.
I can't imagine that Fancy is in good standing with any kind of bank in order to set up.
No,
like
she
that.
was like trying to help them.
Her team was trying. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
never
I'm not
mind.
gonna.
Never mind. We'll get we'll get into that later.
Also,
I got the impression that Fancy started and Stanfield might have finished.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was trying to communicate.
Also, last night I was a little shady because I was just being a little goofy. I promise I'm not a mean person. It took a lot to get me to be a little shady. I'm
Towards
gonna
fancy.
be towards fancy, but sometimes I could just sound mean in general. But I'm gonna try. I try to consider myself to be a feminist, and I probably shouldn't be throwing around certain words and saying certain things.
But
about women.
remind everybody what she did to us.
Yes, to anyone who doesn't know who we are or how we got into this, and again, this is going to be just a small blip about Fancy. I don't want to talk about her all night. But all I was going to say is we went down to the lawsuit that happened last year that was filed in Chillicothe. The lawsuit got dismissed. Not because she won, like she likes to tell people, but it was filed in the wrong place.
Venue.
Wrong venue. Gypsy was never an official resident of Chillicothe. Unfortunately, prisoners are not considered to be citizens of the place in which they're residing in prison. So if they wanted to file it, they should have filed it where the contract was made or signed, or where Gypsy is currently living, or where she was living beforehand. I think those are the three places.
Yeah, but I was just trying to get to she wrote the judge a letter.
Anyway, I was just explaining.
Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, we pulled up, we went to the whole shebang, and then we helped her. And she tried to steal like $800 from us by not taking our card off of the hotel room when she said that she did to my face. And then she wrote to the judge in Chillicothe, basically saying that my mom and I needed to be charged for, I can't even remember what she was trying to charge us with.
Conspiracy probably.
Or something like that. And basically said that we were conspiring with the Blanchards and with Lifetime, and we were getting paid money that I've never seen. And yeah, I don't know. That whole letter was a bunch of conspiracy theories. She said Sarah kidnapped her. You guys go watch the old stuff. Read some documents. It's all on CaseNet. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yes, when she was kidnapped. Yes, we were part of that.
When she was kidnapped. So
we didn't kidnap her, though.
We didn't kidnap her. We didn't do anything wrong. The worst thing that we did was that we trusted Fancy a little bit more than we should. I didn't. There's a reason why there's no pictures of her and I.
Okay, let's get
Anyway, that's all I'm saying about Fancy. You asked.
Yeah, I just wanted everybody to know.
Anyway, that's it. Anyway.
Yes, there's still a warrant out for her and Sarah's arrest, but the bond hasn't been paid, or the warrant hasn't been paid. So
but it's not worth extraditing them for. It's not a felony.
The warrant's in Missouri, so as long as Fancy keeps her butt out of Missouri, she's pretty much home free, and that suits the state of Missouri just fine, honestly.
Although all this stuff coming out about Dawn Boker, I think the DOC should really look into that.
Probably, but I do remember that. Actually, I'm not even going to bring Sarah up. Anyway, okay. So I'm just going to get into it. Okay. So I don't know who this is from exactly, but this is what it says. Hi, Gypsy. I'm happy to let you know that the trust fund has been set up. It's called the Gypsy Rose Trust, established August 25th, 2020. And there's an associated account set up at Chase Bank. There's $30,000 in the account now. I need to wait until next year, also for tax reasons, to put in more. At the time you're released, there should be a total of $50,000 in it. I think this is actually from Stanfield. It seems like I can't attach a document or file in the JPay system, but the relevant highlights my lawyer sent are pretty simple. Oh, maybe it's not. Anyway, you are the designated beneficiary of the trust, and I am the trustee. That just means that I'm responsible for distributing the funds from a trust to you. So when you're about to be released, let me know, and I will get the funds for you for therapy, education, and support needs. The language in the trust says it's intended to help pay for Gypsy Rose Blanchard's therapy, health, education, support, and maintenance. The gift trust is an irrevocable trust. Irrevocable trust, and as such cannot be revoked or modified in any manner after it is signed. So fortunately, that was pretty simple to set up. And it'll be there for you when you get out. I hope that you're safe and doing all right. All my best, blank. So just a little bit about the trust. Okay. This one I think is quite interesting. It's on 793. Did you have anything to add, by the way? Millennial, did you think of anything? Or
Whenever we finish this section, I've got a few more things about Gypsy and Rod to go over.
All right.
okay, good, because I didn't find any of that in this. Okay, so this one I find quite interesting. She talks about her annulment a little bit. Okay, that's not the right one. Okay. Outbound, and this is on October 7th, 2022. Hello, friends, in parentheses, mass email. So thank you to all who gave me great advice this weekend. I really appreciate it. I know that I'm new into the role of wife, and sometimes I do get overwhelmed by things for multiple reasons. The reason why I was pondering getting my marriage annulled is because Ryan and I had an argument like all couples do, and during this argument, he had a trauma trigger for me that reminded me of living with my mother, and I overreacted to it and sent emails to multiple friends within my inner circle contact list on Securus, informing them my thoughts of an annulment. By 3 p.m. this afternoon, I was surprised by a visitor that I wasn't expecting. It was my husband in blank. I had been set up with him for a week straight, and I had been upset with him for a week straight. And the moment that I walked into the room, I saw him looking more handsome than I think I've ever seen before, and I couldn't stay mad at him any longer. We talked and communicated our issues and both agreed to not throw around the word divorce so easily. We have our own unique trauma triggers, and it's about learning how to adapt and communicate through them. So at the end result, we will continue to work on ourselves and our marriage. But that is not why I'm emailing this. As I was getting through the search process after the visit, one of the guards asked if it was true. I asked what she meant. She to which mentioned seeing a post online that I was contemplating an annulment. In addition, she said my email was posted where I'm talking about it. So, one of my friends within my inner circle is posting my business, and anyone who knows me well enough knows that I take my private life serious, and only certain few in confidence receive that email. I will ask whoever posted it, please come forward as I send each person whom I sent that first email to come clean to me and explain their reasons for doing this. My marriage is off limits to post, tweet, TikTok, smack chat is what it says, and every other form of idle gossip. I know and understand that social media is tempting to share your opinions, but unless I ask you to share something, keep my name and my husband's name off social media. Because ever though, I think she means even though, I do not have internet access, someone somewhere will tell me about it, and I will be disappointed if it came from someone close to me. Thank you, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. A little threatening there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. I wouldn't want people talking about my business either, but it seemed like she was emailing, what was it, Tattoo Guy about the annulment, which I don't think was one of her close personal friends.
Yeah, she emailed a lot of people about the annulment, it looked like. And that's another thing where she goes back and forth of asking people to post things versus asking people to stop. There was one email I found, I couldn't tell who it was to, but she was saying, I need you to join this Facebook group. It's called Gypsy Rose Blanchard Support Group. It has 27,000 people in it, but I don't think they get any updates because there's no one in there that I write to. So this was someone that she was writing to, and she asked them to join a support group. So there would be someone in there that she's writing to, but she turns around all the time and sends out these group emails. And she's like, nobody is allowed to share my updates. This is my private life. And then you see emails going out and she's like, hey, look, there's this many likes on TikTok, Instagram, blah,
over and over and over again. What did you want to read about her and Rod?
Oh, let me go back real quick. I found page 191 really interesting. We didn't quite get to that last night, but there were a few things in there that I thought were really interesting. This is 2021. Okay, this is inbound to Gypsy from Rod. Hey, Boo, I just want to say hi. Not much to say, but I miss you and was glad to talk to you the other day. I'm still in quarantine, and guess who sent me a text? I guess I'm just irresistible. Yep, the cookie lady. I know, roll your eyes at your bad dad. She's well, and her bakery is doing really good business, and she's continuing on with her divorce and still single. Other than that, no drama. All is well. I hope you're warm and you all get the vaccine quickly so you can get back to normal. Love you, Dad. And then outbound from Gypsy. Oh boy, you knew my eyes would roll. Don't get caught up this time. You know what happened last time. Blank.
Oh,
Do we
no.
really still call her the cookie lady? I mean, I don't know any other blank messaged you. Real talk. I only recently stopped communication with blank. Blank and I have been romantically involved for over a year, and there is times blank has emailed me. I think that's Ken. I would
Mhm.
call him, but at some point I stopped and I looked at what I really want in a partner, and I realized blank was no longer that. It made it a lot easier to accept what will never be and what is right in front of me that I take for granted by choosing to still conversate with Ken. I know what it's like to love more than one person. Granted, I don't know how you still feel for blank. All I know is I think I am more like you than I realized when it comes to matters of the heart. We want our cake and to eat it too. I still miss blank, but the more time goes on in the relationship with blank, I realize that we have more of a real strong foundation, and he has the maturity and respect to handle what it means to be with me. And so, long story short, you might think the grass is greener over there, but is it? Either way, I'm still glad she's doing okay. Keep your heart and wee in check, Dad. Who is parenting who? Love you. Hugs.
She said that to Rod a couple of times. Who's parenting who?
Yeah.
Wow. And she's so knowledgeable, because she lived this very sheltered life with no experience or anything, but she tells everybody how to live their own lives.
Oh, yeah. Preaches all the dang time. All the time.
Yeah. I mean,
So then,
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, no. All I was going to say is if he weren't married, since he wasn't in her life, I wouldn't find some of the way they kind of banter that weird. But like the fact that she calls Christy mom just makes it all kind of gross to me.
Yeah.
Right. And facilitating the cheating and saying, I don't care. And, what really causes divorce is Christy's snooping. And then
she got out of prison.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to turn around and say, well, I'm more like you than I realize, it's just gross.
I agree. Okay.
Let's see. And then on down, Rod talks about praying for Christy for her foot.
Haiti says calling her Christy mom is just wrong. I actually find it really, really strange. How could you go from the relationship you had with your mom being so close, then murdering her, and then automatically just start calling another woman mom?
It's real weird.
I've never gotten it. It's disturbing to me, honestly. It shows that her love is fickle.
Well, by the way that she is excusing Rod's behavior and trying to help him get away with things, it shows that she has just about as much respect for this mom as she did for her
last
biological mother.
Yeah. Be careful, Christy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rod emails her and, like I said, he says, just finished praying for mom with her foot. I prayed for you too. And then, just some blah, blah, blah about his work. And then I found this kind of weird. He said, I hope you're doing okay and not depressed. It's easy to get depressed and fall into Blahville. LOL, just don't hang in there too long. Any love life drama you got going on? Pretty boring on my end since mom and I joined Facebook. Probably for the better. I got enough on my plate. Oh, well.
Yes, pimp juice.
Yeah.
Pimp juice. Don't let that die.
Yeah. Pimp juice Rod. And then her reply is, yeah, I've been praying for mom's foot too. It's crazy how long it takes to heal. My love life has become a saga, LOL. What can I say? I'm a flirt just like my dad, and welp, I'm still breaking hearts, LOL. Actually, what is going on currently is I'm single, but there is someone I care about a lot, and he cares about me a lot as well. But we had a falling out this summer, and we're trying to reconnect as close friends now. You may have heard me mention blank before. I'm supposed to call him tonight, and all I can say is I don't know where things will go with him, but he's the most supportive person in my life next to you and mom. Even now, he continues to write letters on my behalf to government officials and does absolutely everything a person outside the family can do for my release. So if for any reason you and mom couldn't make it next December, I'll have him present on my behalf. I'm doing okay. I consume myself with homework these days and take it a day at a time. I hope you stay safe.
Mm-hmm. So who was she talking about? Was she talking about Ryan there?
It's 2020. It's September 2020. So I don't know. I found one email where it said that I think it said she kept Ryan on the friend zone for a year. So I don't know if she was talking about Ryan or some other dude she was still flirting with while friend zoning Ryan yet. I'm not sure.
Okay. I don't know
Maybe
when she
Brian.
started dating Brian, Haiti. I don't even really know who Brian is or anything. I don't know who any of her other side pieces are.
I'm pretty sure I found the emails with him. She says he's, I think, 13 or 14 years older than her, and she labels him as emotionally abusive.
Okay,
But
that's
she
the
labels
one.
pretty much everyone that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Although I can't imagine anybody who who reaches out to a prisoner to date them is all there and treats them the best. But yeah, it seems like she deflects on the A word anytime something doesn't go her way.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Do we have any more? We're not going to stay on for 2 hours tonight because we're all exhausted. And
I have a couple more things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And we do still have more stuff. Maybe we'll go through it and come on in a couple more days. Give ourselves a couple more days to go through it.
Or you never know. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. A lot of people are asking for the Ken and Gypsy emails, and they're huge. So maybe we ought to plan a live stream dedicated just to those.
I think we
good
should.
to me. We'll be more organized. We were just kind of going through some stuff, and we knew you guys were on the edge of your seats, so we didn't want to keep you waiting too long for at least a few things. I have some. I have an email where she talks about fancy.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is from August. Also, this is on page 795 to anyone who's following along at home in the future. Okay. So on 8/13/2020, outbound from Gypsy, she says, in 2017 through 2019, my father, Rod Blanchard, and my stepmother, Christy Blanchard, unfortunately fell prey to a con artist by the name of Franchesca Maselli, who claimed to be in the industry. My father agreed to a bogus contract with this woman. She made claims to be writing a TV drama similar to The Act, and this would have the involvement of my family and myself. Despite her claims, I knew she was a fraud when she started creating her production team that consisted of random people she met online and on social media case discussion groups, people with absolutely no experience or credible sources to be signing onto any of my entertainment projects. Franchesca Maselli has spoken as a family source in multiple platforms such as In Touch Magazine, People Magazine, and E! News. More than that, too. I never had any say or any control on what she said or did. She was only ever a fraud who was creating damage for me, both personally and publicly. My family and I have since cut all ties with Fancy, and she has slandered us on social media for it. In 2019, my engagement to my then fiance Ken was announced, not by our choosing. It was not meant to be made public. It was Franchesca who announced the news without my or Ken's permission. The public's interest in my life at the height of the hype from The Act, mixed with this woman exploiting me at every turn, caused problems for my relationship with Ken, who was just a normal 27-year-old guy working as a bartender in downtown Seattle. Due to the pressure of fame and everyone having an opinion about our relationship, in October, he ended our 2-year-long relationship and our engagement with it. The breakup and pressure of the fame left me going through a mental breakdown. I lost myself and felt more alone than ever. Thankfully, now that the hype has died down and I'm just living my life outside of the public eye, I am much happier and more stable. I am currently single and 3.5 years away from release, eligible for parole, and I'm going to be home to my father and stepmother where I will live until I can get a place of my own. I have needs that my father cannot afford. I will need cosmetic dental work and will need therapy when I'm home. These are things that do concern me while I'm still in prison. So it is wonderful what you are trying to do for me. Any thoughts, ladies?
I agree, Bobby. I wish no one would have given her attention either, but it's the way it is. So we are exposing her.
Yeah. Yeah. I do feel kind of bad for Gypsy in this regard of if I'm sorry, Christy, if you took Fancy seriously to begin with, that says something about you and your intelligence level.
Mhm.
And
And
Rod took her
also-
seriously too. There are
Yeah,
emails
he
Rod
did.
as well. So
For
Rod,
Fancy.
Christy, all y'all. And not just seriously enough to just have a conversation with her or do something for her, to literally be like, here is my life story in your hands.
You have my life rights.
You have my life rights. You know what I mean? That's a lot. And it really seems like Gypsy was kind of manipulated into just kind of agreeing with it.
Right.
And a lot of times when they talk about like the different media deals and such that Christy and Rod are involved with, it seems like Gypsy isn't really consulted. She's just kind of told in a
Mhm.
way that makes it seem like they're taking her thoughts into consideration.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, they're just kind of signing contracts for her, or not for her. Well, there's some allegations, but regardless,
Mhm.
they're just
There's a lot of manipulation in Rod's emails to her about doing interviews and series and stuff to make money.
like the
Mhm.
one in Japan. He's like, well, we really need the money. And it's like, do you not make
I know
enough
you
money?
don't want to do any more interviews, and I'm with you on that 100%. But
Mhm.
So I don't know. It seems like they're just in it for, not because they give a shit about their daughter. I mean, I'm sure they care about her in some small fraction of a way, in some weird way, but she is not their top priority. Her mental health, her safety, her life, her love life, I don't think is that big of a concern to them. She's mostly a paycheck.
yeah, when her and Kian set their wedding date when they were together, and she emailed it to Rod asking them to come to their prison wedding. Rod complained. He said something about, yeah, we'll try to be there, even though it is in the middle of the only month I've got out for duck hunting, but I'm sure you've got your reasons.
Yep.
Oh, God forbid you go to your daughter's wedding instead of duck hunting for a couple days, because she's in prison. It's not like you can spend a lot of time with her anyway. Like there's certain parameters, certain days you can visit, stuff like that.
Well, and this is the guy who says that he feels bad that he wasn't in her life, and yet he's choosing to pick duck hunting over her wedding. So
Yeah. I mean, he said he would come, but he complained.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just kind of guilt trip you a little bit so you know what I'm really missing out on. It's like, dude.
Yeah. And I mean, and I get, I'm sorry. I thought you stopped it, dude. We have a little bit of lag.
No, nothing important. Just that you can wait.
Yeah. And I mean, I get not being super excited about somebody to have a prison wedding. You don't think it's a good idea and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But he wasn't complaining about that stuff. He complained that it was his only time off to go duck hunting, but he's sure she has her reasons. And, I can tell from the emails that they weren't, she had to go along with the chaplain's availability and this availability and that. So in this case, she actually did have her reasons, but
Yeah.
and they had nothing to do with Rod's duck hunting, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's some wild stuff. I'm trying to see if there's anything else interesting that I have in here. This isn't really that juicy. I just think it's kind of funny. What is it? 792. I'm backtracking a little bit. So I don't know exactly what she's responding to. I just thought this was kind of funny. Come on, where are you at? She talks about Disney a little bit, and I thought it was funny because these are long pages with a lot of stuff on them.
yeah, there's a lot to read, and the writing's small, and if you blow it up, it cuts it off.
That's why I'm reading so weird, because I can't follow it very well.
I did locate 2 emails from Ken to Gypsy to read real quick before we get off here, because so many people have asked for them. And
Yeah,
there's
go
not a ton of emails from Ken to Gypsy. They're mostly from Gypsy to Ken.
Mhm.
It seems like he mainly would call her and respond to her emails over phone.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Okay, let's hear
Did
them.
you find what you were looking for, Laura?
Yeah, it's really small. I'll just read it. It's
Yeah,
super
just read
small.
it.
Okay. So it sounds like someone was kind of just asking her like general questions about like kind of movies she likes and stuff. So anyway, she says, that app sounds so cool. Unfortunately, I have no access to apps or the internet while in prison. These emails are only through a certain email service that is only email. I like Disney still. They have some good movies, but I've grown up a lot over the last few years. And now I'm a lot more interested in other things. I'll always love the idea of fairy tales, but I have also been in the real world for a few years, and I know that life is not always magical. I thought I found my prince and was so sure that he was the one, and then he abandoned me. So I'm not so keen as to give my heart as I once was. And I can't read the rest of it because it's cut off. But I just thought that was kind of funny because she still kind of does the fairy tale thing a little bit. And at one point, she's like, I'm too mature for that stuff, which girly.
Yeah, most all of the stuff about Ken, I'm just watching the stuff. Thank you,
Yeah.
1970.
Thank you, 1970.
Most of the stuff with Ken is done on phone, I believe. You know, from Ken's side, you don't really get a whole big picture of what's going on there, but you get a little bit of inference. And so if somebody does ever get a hold of those phone calls, holy cow, they're probably going to be really spicy.
I feel like some of it would almost constitute as revenge porn. Some stuff I wouldn't feel comfortable reading.
Oh, yeah.
Or playing
Yeah.
or anything like that, because that's just not appropriate.
Yeah, no. And even a lot of this, sometimes I don't feel comfortable reading or even releasing, but it's public information, it's history, and it's going to go out there. So it is what it is.
Okay, so 2 emails from Ken to Gypsy, and this is 2018.
Okay.
Hey, lover, I missed you as soon as we hung up last night. You know all the right things to say to make me crave you constantly. It's my day off tomorrow and I don't know what I'm doing. I promise no poker, LOL. I'll probably get those pictures I owe you and mail them out. Mail them out. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I should also start packing for this move into downtown. God, I can't wait to get the hell out of Normandy Park and back into Seattle. I forgot to mention on the phone today I got your card, and it seriously uplifted me more so than I can explain a letter. I mean, really, do you know what you do to me? I freaking love you. I can't get enough time with you, so I hope you call me again tonight, even if it's just for 2 minutes, so I can say I love you. And then the next day, sends an email. He says, you're just the best. You know that? It's 2 a.m. and I'm lying here in bed with no distractions, thinking of nothing except you. I truly can't even believe how happy I am to have you, and I never thought I'd say that to anyone. But you've become a part of me that I'll never lose. I know I've said this before, but honestly, I can't think back to a single person I've had nearly a 3.5-hour conversation with. Not only that, but immediately after hanging up, I just want you back. I want that voice. I want that laugh. I want your roommate stopping by and saying how awesome you are. I just want more Gypsy. You're never enough. Thank you for making the best part of my day, no matter what I'm doing. You're the one who brings the excitement into my life, even 1.8 thousand miles away, for now. I catch myself smiling at anything that reminds me of you. Your blanket, your picture, an envelope you sent, a card, or looking into our box and seeing the scrapbook. Let's get through another week of this thing together. You jump, I jump, remember? Much love, always. K. P.S. I hope our visit goes well. Oh, and remind me soon. Remind me the song I couldn't remember when trying to search it after we hung up, only because I'm too focused.
Okay.
So yeah, Ken was sending really, really sappy emails in the beginning. They talked a lot about their robe nights, which, like Amber said, if we ever got the transcripts of those phone calls, we would not read the robe nights. I know none of the 3 of us would read the robe nights. We would not feel comfortable doing that. No. But yeah, in 2018, it was really sappy. Then by 2019, when he would occasionally send her an email, it got kind of short. And at one point, she was like, "Why are you even talking like that? I don't know who you are.
Yeah, and she I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Ken was actually supposed to move to Liberty, Missouri.
Yeah, she was pushing him to move to Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
And he was resisting it, and she was telling him how awesome Missouri is. Just try out, explore Kansas City and blah blah blah. She
Mm-hmm.
talking about loving the St. Louis Cardinals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they talk about it quite a bit about him moving to Liberty, finding an apartment, finding a school, because I guess Ken was in school. There's quite a bit of talk about Ken and classes and things like that. So I don't know what he actually took classes for, but
It's robe, ROBE,
Mhm.
robe nights. Oh, sorry, I see that. There we go. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah,
But-
robe night sounds ugh.
And
Yeah.
where's that
so
one?
I'm wondering if he like wears a robe and it's like, or like something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's what they call it robe nights because they just like slightly are into
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't
wouldn't want
know.
to see it. I wouldn't want to know. That's not my business.
So there's one part I just thought it was funny. We could read it if I don't remember where it's at, but she calls Ken a Hooters hooker.
Yeah, she does.
Where is that at? Hooters hooker.
While you're looking for this, something that I wrote in my notes, and I don't think it really matters. This isn't like me making a political take, but there's something where Gypsy's talking about how she's never been able to vote, and she talks about how her family are all Republicans. And I just thought it was interesting that they're Republicans, but then there was that one thing where Rod used a slur that does sound a little Republican-esque, and then said something about how he didn't like Trump, and then he's also talking about the vaccines. So I'm not really able to kind of pinpoint what their political thing is. Not that it really matters at all, but I just read that and I thought that was interesting.
On page 165, she says she wants to F up a Kardashian.
165, you said?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I missed that.
165.
There's an interesting thing
Right
that
there.
Rod emails to Gypsy
It's a
about
long
Ken
one, but
on 188 too.
Okay.
it's a long email, but she talks about Kardashians in there.
Okay, I'm going to read this real quick. So this is 1/12/2019. My love, as I write this, I'm in bed looking out the window at the 10 plus inches of snow falling from the winter storm, blank, and I have only one thing on my mind, you. After you told me why you got in your head and turned into a gremlin, I can't even be mad at you because it's why you got that way and not how you were acting, but the why that makes me sweet on you. I'm like, oh, he got territorial. He loves me. Smiley face. I love you. XOXOXOXO. Honey, I need you to remember that I will never keep a score of the wrongs. We both do and say things that we didn't completely think before it was said or done, but most likely it was purely because we love each other too much and our moods can be affected at a moment's notice in a positive or negative way. And you and I are so much alike. I get protective and possessive of you as well. Remember when you told me you met Kylie Jenner? I was about to fuck up a Kardashian for real. LOL. I totally believed you. There has been times I turned into Mrs. Gremlin.
Oh my
All
god.
seriousness, I'm so into you and wrapped up in my feelings for you that no one, male or female, reference to my misunderstanding, LOL, is even a blip on my radar, as I am in love with only one person because this one person I have spent hours that could total up to months talking to, visits that I have such fond memories of, kisses that were so pleasurable they made me moan, such
Ugh.
powerful emotions that overwhelm me with happiness just having you in my life, and the soul-crushing sadness when we feel hurt. The hopes and dreams we share, and the way you can read my mind is all signs that we were so perfectly matched. I wouldn't give that up for anything. And with that being said, I will give you a Bible verse that I truly believe in, and this comes from a Life Recovery Bible. So for both of us, it has more meaning. You and I are both at one time or another have been addicts trying to numb our pain, and our pain and love can often be the cause and the cure. And here's the Bible verse. Oh, yeah. Okay. We may not, or we may have given up on love. Perhaps we waited for love only to be disappointed. Maybe our loved ones hurt us so badly that we need to numb ourselves from the pain. In the past, our addiction helped us to numb, but
Addiction.
I'm sorry, our addiction. No, it says addition.
Yeah, but she meant addiction.
Oh, addiction, my bad. Helped us to keep us numb, but now we are recovered and we must deal with the trials and joys of love with a sober mind and heart. 1 Corinthians 13. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not want what belongs to others. It does not brag, it is not proud, it is not rude, it does not look out for its own interests, it does not become easily angry, it does not keep track of the wrongs of others. Love is not happy with evil, but it is full of joy when truth is spoken. It always protects, it always trusts, it always hopes, and it never gives up. The three most important things to have is faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of all of them is love. The reason I give this to you is because I want you to remember that through the past when we have been wronged by the exes.
Richard Gypsy has let us know how it is.
And if you caught anything in there, they talk about that a lot. We probably won't get into it tonight because it's a whole lot.
Holly Lightly in the comments was saying that these emails have been available on another platform. Holly, they should not have been. This is a very recent FOIA that Mandy got. And as far as we know, she's only given it to us. She's only given us permission.
Yeah.
So some of these emails, like we were able to confirm that person who released the email where Gypsy was trash talking Ryan's family right after she came out. We found that email in here. It's real.
Mm-hmm.
So like there are a few that have been released other places, but this whole full document is brand new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, Andrew Bailey, the attorney general here in Missouri, actually had to help Mandy get these. So, yeah, it went through a lot. And Dan Patterson, from what I understand, helped her get it as well. So on page 143, go to 143.
We're all over the place here.
Yeah, sorry, it's just.
Oh, no, I was just.
So this is a jealous letter from Gypsy. And I think this is, this talks about the act too. So just read that.
Okay. This is 5/02/2019. Hi, thanks for the encouragement. I'm doing well in my current circumstance. Besides, for me, prison is more.
Hold on. Never mind. This is the canned one. That's one of her canned responses. My bad.
Oh, okay.
There's an interesting one on 188 from Rod to Gypsy speaking about Ken, and it is 8/29/2019. And I wouldn't actually probably feel comfortable putting this one out there if it wasn't for what Gypsy already put out on Ryan.
Okay.
You see that, Allura?
No, we're not on there. Which one?
Oh, sorry. I was kind of reading this. Well, I guess since she has it, she can read it, and then we'll just keep what we have on the screen. We'll read it in a second because it's long. It's long.
Okay. Okay, this is Rod to Gypsy, August 2019. That's great news about your test and classes. I'm glad you have set your goal. You can do it. Make it a priority. Study hard for a few months, then pass it, and then you can have time to do other stuff. When I took all my captain's tests, that's all I had time for. Study, 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 every free minute. It was a rough 4 to 6 months, but after it's done, you never have to test again. That's the best advice I can give for now. The addiction relapse is a big, huge red flag, baby. Sorry. I'm advising you to accept that you cannot change an addict's desires. Someone in their mid-20s going on binge coke highs surely carries baggage at this point, makes your relationship extremely tough to grow properly. You made a good call to step back a bit for now. He has a lot of maturing to do in my view. I hope he can. He's a nice guy, but making a terrible decision by using drugs. I'm sorry to hear that, boo. All you can do is talk to him and tell him he needs to be strong, stay strong. Nobody will ever carry his weight. He and only him can choose the right road when the devil starts to tempt him. Mom said y'all did more interviews. I thought we were done. LOL. That's cool. I know why you did it. Anyway, still in the boat. Get off mid-October. Same whole crap here. Water, sky, and more water. I love you.
Yeah, that was the most blatant, actually talking about the powder. There are other ones talking about opioid problems as well. So,
yeah, so Gypsy being all judgmental, putting out the sweat towel post on Ryan. she's not with someone who didn't also have a similar problem that they had to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say this. There's rumors from the prisoners that she didn't exactly stop everything that she said she was stopping, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what's true or not, but
I hear a lot of stuff from the prison. So it'll be interesting. I told my cousin today when she called that I was reading these out, and she's like, oh my gosh. So it'll be interesting to see if any of that filters back to the prison and what they tell her and she tells me.
yeah. So
Okay, read this one last one, and then I think we'll call it for tonight.
okay, sounds good to me. Okay. So this is from 6/7/2019, and it's outbound from Gypsy. Babe, I want you to know that I love you with all my heart. I'm sorry it's been a rough work week. I know that it's all for a bigger goal. I miss you, but I can't help feeling like I have been annoying you lately with how much I call you. Maybe it's the fact that I do call you when you're working, and maybe that's annoying. So if so, I apologize, and I will stop calling you every morning and night. If you need space, let me know. Today you did put me in a mood because I clearly told you I had a vivid nightmare that you were cheating on me with another girl in here, who happens to be a real girl in here, and I was still feeling weird about it. Like I hadn't shook off the dream yet. Then you proceeded to tell me about some chick, granted she was old, but still some chick hitting on you like I don't want to hear about it. I know you get chicks throwing themselves at you, but I don't need to be reminded. It's not funny, so please stop. And today was just bad timing with a bunch of A's in all caps. You were a sand kicker today because I felt you all but said, fuck your feelings and your bad dream. Let me tell you how many chicks want to fuck me. Sometimes you say things that it surprises me that you don't catch things that stir me up. I think you do completely overlook some things and think it doesn't bother me. Just tell me about that shit. Save it for your dude buddies who are probably 35 and single, living the bang 'em and leave 'em life. Not your incarcerated fiance who has not a clue what you do when I'm not on the phone with you. I get that you surround yourself with, besides blank, are other bartenders who are in point in case
Single.
sorry, I'm okay. Single for the reason of the sexual attention that comes with being in that line of work, as you admit yourself that you have to flirt in order to get high tips. So in a sense, you asked for it to happen. Ever since you told me that I'm not like you're innocent. Oh, okay. Ever since you told me that, I'm like, you're not innocent, so don't act surprised like it happened out of the blue. What I do appreciate is that you don't act on the opportunity, but ask yourself this is if sorry, ask yourself this. If the roles are reversed and I brag to you, Valley Girl talk, like OMG, this is OMG, this old guy came into my work and was like, hot damn girl, you fine. If I was younger, I'd hit that. See my point? It's like the same if you was locked up and I was working at Hooters. In parentheses, I would never degrade myself enough to work there. But say, for example, if I did, I would have to wear short shorts with a tight crop top, showing off my tits, flipping my hair, and giving guys winks while bending over the table as I stare down my shirt. I'm sure it would make loads of money and have dudes hit on me all day, but I wouldn't give them what they wanted. Then told you about all the guys who want to take me home when you call me, just needing a moment to be reminded how much I love you. But instead, I make you feel insecure and jealous because you're in prison and you can't so much as even kiss me for a long time. But some random ass has the privilege to see down my shirt and offers to take me to Pound Town. So I hope my little examples put things into perspective for you. I can't control that you're a Hooters hooker, but I will ask to be left in ignorance as it is bliss. Anyway, I sound like I'm bitching, but I'm not bitching. I'm just being 100% real with you and telling you what's on my mind. I'm not mad, by the way. I just don't want to be omitting how I really feel. I'm probably overblowing it and could have gotten my point across without the examples, but it's 2 a.m. and I didn't get to stay on the phone or say this on the phone tonight, nor did I get my kisses. I love you. You're a wonderful partner. I do just get possessed of you. Remember that my halo is held up by horns.
Mm-hmm.
Miss you. Love your little gremlin.
We've been knowing, Gypsy. We've been knowing.
I have thoughts about that. What do you have thoughts about that, millennial?
We've been knowing that her halo, such as she has, is held up with horns. But yeah, there was a lot of manipulation, a lot of crazy in that email. Like, it's no wonder they broke up multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so if he wasn't telling you about the women that were hitting on him, you'd probably be upset that he just wasn't telling you about it. And then there's also about, 1,000 other guys that are hitting on you and saying 1,000 times worse to you. Some of which you're potentially even profiting off of. I don't know if you are at this time, but regardless, it sounds like rules for thee, not for me. And also, I don't really like the way that you're degrading the
hardworking women.
Yes, at Hooters. And like Hooters is even
Hooters
that bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I have a Hooters shirt.
She went and took a picture with the Hooters waitresses. So
oh, you ladies. Talk to her about that.
If you're a Hooters waitress, there's nothing wrong with that. Like it's not
absolutely not.
And there's not even like it's not even that slutty. Like it really isn't. It's just more so like the stigma around it, I guess. But it's like I wear worse stuff all the time. So and I have a Hooters shirt and I don't even wear a bra with it. So
oh, remember Nana's Hooter shirt?
Oh, my grandma, not Nana, it's grandma.
I remember some Hooters waitresses.
Oh, my grandma, she has a special Hooters shirt. And
she wore it to my niece's birthday party or something with a bunch of teenagers.
Yeah. So my grandma, she has this Hooters shirt, and she's like, "You guys want to see my Hooters outfit?" And then she comes out, and it's a Hooters top with two like pantyhose sacks that look like saggy boobs with like big old and that's my grandma's Hooters shirt.
But her
so funny.
Not only does her grandma wear it, but her Nana, her great grandmother, is the one who made it.
My great grandma. I'm not going to expose her at the moment. She's no longer with us, but holy moly, I've seen some stuff that she had.
She's amazing.
She was something. That's all I got to say about that. But we love the Hooters girlies is all I have to say.
Yeah, I just got to say some Hooters waitresses kind of saved my butt one time. I was much younger. This was over a decade ago. I was downtown St. Louis with friends. We'd been tailgating for a Rams game, I think. It was one of the sporting events that I've been to that imparted all my sports knowledge that I have. So we were tailgating, and this was before legalization of the things that we all like to smoke. And I was smoking something I shouldn't have been before legalization outside the Hooters that was downtown St. Louis. And saw a cop coming by, and I smashed what I was smoking in my hand and kept it in my hand, and it burned. And one of the waitresses saw me, and after the cop went by, she ran out with a glass of ice water for my hand. We love the Hooters girls.
I would have just stuck it in my mouth.
I know there was somebody that ate one time, like just.
Oh my god,
that would hurt though. That's worse than burning your hand. Well, shout out to that Hooters waitress.
Yes. So I guess we're going to call it a night. We just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit more. And if I so choose and Millennial wants to come on with me when Alora's at work tomorrow, we may go through some stuff or wait till she gets home, whatever. But I kind of just want to get through these as fast as possible because I have her DOC file to go over as well. And then I also have Jelani Day's FOIA that I got. So I'm like super loaded down. So, but I do have somebody helping me with the Jelani Day FOIA. So thank you very much. You know who you are. So I guess we're going to call it for tonight, but please go subscribe to Millennial's channel if you have not already.
Yes. Please.
She is a champion, and she's been helping us quite a bit because this would be a very daunting task if I was doing it on my own. And Alora just came down today to look at some stuff. So She is helping now.
I've been busy.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. But it is a very daunting task, especially with them being out of order and you don't know who they're from. And so sometimes you just
search
kind of,
'em.
yeah. And then sometimes you just kind of have to read it a couple of times to figure out the context of what's actually going on. So anyways, we are going to say goodnight for now, but we hope, actually we need to,
Oh yeah, we're gonna go through some of our
Yeah.
stuff.
so Syntaz is a new member. Thank you. Jen, new member. Carolina girl, new member. Main chick Carrie, member for a month. Thank you. Guess who is a new member? McCatherine.
We're gonna put any of these up on the screen.
Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Also, it looks like main chick Carrie said, "Thank you for doing this. You're so appreciated."
Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate you as well.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, McCatherine.
Yes.
And then some more new members is Stacy C and Fire and Ice. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over.
No,
for
no,
you.
you're good. No, you're good.
And then Sweetest Taboo, thank you so much. Thank you, Mom Shack Hair, for the super sticker. Crystal, I know I read some of your comments earlier that you had left on was he okay? That you had left
Yeah,
on our
he's good.
last video that we had just
doing?
done. Thank you, ladies. I'm sure these emails aren't easy to go through. Thank you for doing this for us. Are you okay, little dude?
I don't want your behind in my face.
Joy speaking straight facts as always. Thank you for that. Allegedly. Lala one. Lala one. Thank you so much for the super sticker. We can't actually even see the stickers on here. That's so silly. And thank you so much, 1970s Gen Xer moderate, whoever you might be.
Thank you.
So, thank you so much to everybody. Remember to sub to Millennials channel.
Mhm.
Somebody had asked if I have a channel. I don't have a channel yet. I keep thinking about making one. But like I said, I'm too busy to even like contribute to this half the time. So I'm getting to it. But that being said, I do have a TikTok and she has more fun. Oh, you cannot have my
He's
hamburger.
trying to eat your hamburger.
But I do have a TikTok and my mom has more followers on me than TikTok. So help us. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't care.
I don't either.
But, yeah, it doesn't even matter. I just noticed it on accident the other day. But Alora Flowers on TikTok. I think it's just Alora Flowers. People ask if that's my last name. It is a family name that is no
It's
longer.
my maiden name.
It's her maiden name.
Mhm.
So yeah. Anyway, that's a security question I can't use now. Thanks.
Oh, well.
But anyway, do you have anything else to say, Millennial?
No, just thanks for having me up here. Mandy, if you're watching, thank you for inviting me to go over these with Into the Weeds, and thank you for sharing these with us. Thank you for getting
very
us.
much. Okay, we'll have something for you in a day or two, and I hope everybody has a blessed evening and that you do something really good to change the world for the better, please.
Yes, yes. Mwah.
Bye,
Have a good night,
everybody.
everyone.
Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.